improvisation is taught as a serious artistic and research specialty in only a handful of universities worldwide. One of these is the Estonian Academy of Music and Theatre, where I have been teaching it for 10 years, and where doctoral level improvisation education is unique. This experience and environment illuminates a broader set of epistemic and pedagogical principles that are increasingly relevant for thinking about research across disciplines. Free improvisation can be understood as an expressive process born in the moment, not predefined by cultural, cognitive, or contextual constructions or templates. This understanding produces a paradox. Teaching free improvisation seems ontologically self-contradictory. How can one teach something that is inherently personal, emerging from each individual's inner world and its limitations? The implication is clear. Improvisation cannot be taught via direct transmission of content or technique. If I try to teach it head-on, my activity would become the colonization of another person's patterns by the patterns I carry as a teacher. Instead of direct instruction, teaching improvisation involves facilitation, creating environments in which individual agency, perceptual openness, and self-determined exploration can develop without undue external constraint. It builds on existential questions that are intense in our contemporary society. In a technological, complex, innovation-driven world, universities face growing pressure to produce reproducible output and measurable impact. Yet the most transformative research often emerges from processes that deliberately operate outside such predictable structures. Improvisation illuminates this tension. Should the present be organized according to position and power, or should it be reorganized by new solution-giving ideas? Improvisation is never free of inner struggle. Every improvisational act involves a mental competition among multiple possible responses. A person or a situation is not a singular voice, but a complex assembly of competing directions of thought, each striving towards expression. From this internal wrestling emerge several core principles of free improvisation that are also relevant for organizing innovative research. Accept true mental processes as they unfold. Express ideas through action as integrally as possible. Accept mistakes and risk as unavoidable and important productive conditions. Recognize discomfort as normality. Commit to a dynamic, context-sensitive flow of thought and action. Build communication through the coexistence of diverse synchronous lines that influence one another. And encourage self-determination, protecting personal mental space as a human right. These principles align closely with the types of capacities required for innovative research, yet they often run counter to the incentives and structures that dominate contemporary academic governance. Everyone and everything is loaded with their past. But when improvisation occurs between unfamiliar individuals, the result becomes even more unpredictable. The condition reinforces two core principles. I never fully know, and knowledge is never final. If institutions fail to cultivate such epistemic openness, the ability to think beyond the reproducible and the already known withers when unused. In such conditions, instructions and quality assurance frameworks can inadvertently become substitutes for self-trust. The consequence is a drift towards safety, reproducibility, and the predictability at the expense of exploratory, high-risk, high-novelty research. Drawing on the insights of improvisational practice, we can articulate better practices for environments where genuine novelty can emerge. Let us consider the models we can adapt from the field of improvisation to sustain cultures of novelty and foster the flourishing of their practitioners. How do we keep our institutions and ourselves from replacing risky living thought with the comforts of safe, reproducible procedure?